Hey, hello everyone. My name is Nkosi Dlamini, and I am the founder of NK24 Enterprises. Now, what this video is about is for the next 90 days, I'm going to be talking about something I created, which is the 90-day wealth challenge. Okay, the plan is not to be wealthy in 90 days, but I want to create wealth for myself, and I've done research, and now I am putting all the new information into application because this is a process of deletion of information that does not work. For 29 years of my life, for 30 years of my life, I'm 30 years old right now. For 30 years of my life, I have been applying the wrong information, taking it from the wrong sources. Or if I had the right information, I had took it from different people and I ended up not being able to utilize it. That got me into a very bad spot, which was probably about a year ago when coronavirus happened. I pretty much lost everything. Income I had was probably just I was in a very good space, but then I lost everything. Had my car repossessed, got kicked out of where I was staying. They repossessed, they evicted me where I was staying. They took all my furniture, and literally what was an income generator for me, which was my coaching business, that died. And the other things that I also did, which were generating income, was doing a little business with my sister, which is decoration, like hiring out of decoration decor equipment to events like as weddings, every single event. When coronavirus came, when the country shut down, pretty much everything was dead. And I think the most terrifying thing was that being broke is fine when you know you're going to get money, but being broke not knowing what is going to happen or where the money is going to come from is the most terrifying thing ever. And that's what happened with me. I found myself at home, depressed, sitting there, and literally losing hope. Well, with hope lost completely as to how will I ever rebuild myself, because we didn't know when this coronavirus thing would end. So I spent about 10 months at home, really thinking about, because that's the only thing you can do, you can only think. So you start to think about what is it that you did wrong. You go through a depression phase where you deny the 5 stages of grief, you deny, but I ended up accepting the situation, which is when you finish the 5 stages of grief, and that's when you can actually start to rebuild. And that's what happened with me. So I realized that there was information that I used which was incorrect, and it wasn't from a credible source. So I started to look at who should I be listening to in order to create wealth, because I want to create wealth for myself, for my family, and then eventually teach people how to create wealth for themselves. But I was in a sorry ass state, but I needed to rebuild. So started looking at sources, and I found new information which was from credible sources, and I found that I've been doing things wrong. And like I said, this is a process of application of new data. And that is what I've been doing the whole year this year. Started off with just creating income. And this is what the challenge is about. The challenge is more about how do you go from where you are and really sort of take stock of the position you are in, and be able to mm, create a goal of where you want to go and create action steps on how to go from here to here to here. And this process, this is what it's about. So we have part one, which is about stacking cash phase. You cannot create wealth without income, and that was the part where I needed to start off at. I was unemployed, I had no prospects. I needed to really get started as to, okay, how do I get to wealth? Yes, wealth is good, but I need to start somewhere. And in this phase here has about 5 steps. The first one is create income. That's the first thing. Like, you have to create income. And that's where I began. Obviously there were other things I started to do, like exercise, study, to just build that momentum and self-confidence. But the first step is you need to create income. And that's what I did. I looked for a problem, found a problem in my area, and I exposed it. And then I looked at, okay, how do I I need a job. How do I get a job? Because that was the first step of income. And I gave myself time, made an action step. I'm going to talk about these phases, these steps, what you do each day. I'll be talking about the different steps. So that was about step one, phase one. It's about creating income, and then how do you build onto that income? Because what has happened is that, I've been here for about 8 months, 9 months. I started off with just my salary and my job when I got the job. And then now, about once I started to stabilize a bit, because I was living on a negative, moving to a new place, you tend to burn up more money than you actually have, you know. So over the last 2 months, I started to break even, and now I'm sort of started making a little bit more money, having a little bit of extra money, and I'm going to teach you how I do that actually. And then I want to get to a point where I get to make so much money that I get to put it away, which leads us to phase two, which is how do you convert earned income into passive income? That also has about 5 steps. I haven't reached it, but I've done the research as to that is what I need to do, because you need a plan. And this is the plan I'll be following, you know, not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. I'm just, choosing to share my journey, and hopefully if you find this helpful, then you can more than welcome to take it and use it for yourself. So phase two is more about passive income creation. That is how you create wealth. Let's just say your expenses are 10,000 Rand. If you are able to get passive income, which is probably about 12,000, which pays for your expenses, and you have 2,000 Rand, you are financially free. That is the definition of financial freedom. Because passive income, you don't need to work for it, you know? So it's not about making earned income of 12,000 more than your expenses. It's about passive income being able to pay your expenses. And that is how you go on that wealth. To me, that was a big change. Now I don't think in terms of earned income. I think in terms of earned income, how do I convert it to passive income? And that is the big change that you probably need to make. We talk about different asset vehicles which pay you passive income, and then leads us to part three, which is more about case studies. I chose 5 people which I am getting information from. They have attained success for a good plus minus 30 years. I don't listen to a person who has had about 5 years experience or 5 years of success, but I listen to people now who have had about 30 plus years of success. They've started from the bottom and they've worked their way up. So I talk about them, their background, how they did it, and I talk about their method of wealth as to their vehicle. How are they doing it? There are many different ways to achieve wealth. Some of them build a business and sell it and attain wealth. Some of them actually, use their businesses to buy real estate and they get rental income. Some of them actually are now buying companies with, they probably start a seminar business where they teach people how to buy business, and they buy businesses and then sell them together at a bigger price. So there are many ways, and I'm going to be exploring. I've done research on all of them, and we're just going to be talking about the characteristics, their mindset, and their vehicle. How do they do it? And that is really, really important, that because it's going to show us how they started off in phase one, where they had nothing and they started to build cash, and then how they converted that into creating wealth for themselves. So I think having a nice diverse way of looking at how to create wealth is really going to help. So that's what I want. That's what I'll be doing about the next 30 days. I will be talking about each step. I'll be posting a video every day for the next 90 days about each step, going into detail about that step and how to practically apply it. Some of the things I haven't reached, so there will be basically, it will be just information on that one, that according to the research that I've done. But otherwise, I'm really excited about this wealth challenge. I would like for you to join me in this wealth challenge and increasing your knowledge, and then we can actually put a plan together, all of us, and start to move ahead, all of us. Thank you so much. I hope you join the challenge, and feel free to put the comments below and telling us if you got questions, if there's something you think that well, they call it grain of wisdom that you would like to share, feel free, post it on the group, on the comments right there. That's going to be really, really amazing. One last thing that I really want to say is that I really believe that you should be using time, you know, for you, not let time work against you. The next 90 days is gonna go, so I really want you to actually start focusing on wealth, not just money, just getting wealthy, you know, because I believe everyone should be wealthy, and now I really believe that everyone can achieve wealth. Wealth doesn't mean you need to be a millionaire or billionaire or multimillionaire. It's according to what you want. I know what I want, so I'm chasing it. You need to be honest with what you want. Otherwise, thank you so much, and yeah, hope you enjoy the challenge and stay tuned.